average infantryman would know how to use it because he loads from the front. You're going to reach in the cartridge box. You're going to pull the cartridge out. Yeah, one of those paper cartridges. You're going to tear it open with your teeth.
But if you know anything about it, the politics goes way back years and years and years, and I'm not going to get into that argument with you. But so that's what we're going to say.
How's it going? Good, good. Love your little shop here. Are they starting the event again? Oh.
Battle of the Civil War was actually fought in May of 1865 in Texas. Can I say that? Texas? And you said, but Mrs. Doody, I thought the war was over in April. It was. But they didn't have the railroads or the telegraphs yet, and so they didn't get news of the war being over in Texas until almost a month later. It was a Confederate victory, just in case you wanted to know. There's a little place called Palmetto Ranch, Texas, a little southeast, kind of down Houston area. So I need you guys to get settled and kind of off the road a little bit. I don't want to get in trouble, you know. Good job. Thank you. So the war between the states, whenever, at the beginning, they called up, Mr. Lincoln called up about 75,000 volunteers because they thought it's going to be a quick battle, one little battle, it'll be over, and we'll be done. Of course, we know it ended up lasting about 4 years, from April to April. And we lost somewhere between, and they can't give us accurate numbers, between 600,000 and 1 million men. We're not sure. Records have been lost. And then there's the case that we can't tell how many people died from diseases or injuries or drug addictions after the war was over. So they're not really sure on how many people died. But let me see if I can get you to wrap your head around this. So let's take the War of the American Revolution, the War of 1812, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the war that we're in today, and we're just now getting to the amount of men that was lost in the war between the states. That's phenomenal, isn't it? Does that just run chills through you? It does me. And then there was the livestock that we lost. Over 1 million in livestock, horses and cows and that effect. And it raged ravage on just where they were fought. There were forests that were completely wiped out. Trees, land, there was big craters in the land. The birds were gone, the insects were gone. Disease was rampant. Speaking of which, the war between the states had many firsts. One of the first things that the war between the states created was an income tax. Yay? Yeah, me neither. The use of repeating rifles. Battles of ironclad ships. Trench warfare. You didn't know that, did you? So whenever they started the war between the states, the South, of course, was mostly agriculture. We didn't have the industry that the North had. The North was really lucky with all of their factories and everything, but the South didn't have that. The South had cotton, right? We have a bunch of cotton, but we needed weapons and ammunition. So this is what we did. We talked to the Queen of England and said, look, we could really use your help. We'll sell you our cotton if you'll sell us some ammunition and artillery pieces. And she said, well, I'll send an observer there, and we'll see what's going on in the United States. And this is Colonel Fremantle, our observer. And he's here today to tell you a little bit about what England had to do with the war between the states here.
Thank you, Miss Doody. You said about the cotton. What you forgot to say is that you, in the South, didn't want to ship the cotton. Jefferson Davis placed an embargo on cotton and tried to force, blackmail might be a better word, England into recognizing the South by withholding cotton. Of course, in 1859 and 1860, the South had a bumper crop of cotton. We had 18 months' supply of cotton in our Lancashire mills. We didn't know what to do with the cotton. We had cotton coming out of our ears. We didn't want any more cotton. So I'm sorry, the King Cotton campaign failed miserably. But yes, we did ship weapons to the South because, as Miss Doody said, on April the 12th, 1861, they fired on Fort Sumter. That was the Confederates that did that. And at that time, they were at a fire on Fort Sumter. They had at the most 160,000 very, very old, antiquated things called weapons. That was it. The only chance of making more weapons was a small Tredegar iron foundry in Richmond, and that was the limit. During the American Civil War, they shipped 400,000 weapons, rifles from England. That was a third of the requirement. But of course, rifles aren't much very good without gunpowder, so we shipped 2/3 of the supply. Gunpowder came in the form of saltpeter, 2,250,000 pounds of saltpeter we shipped from England. And of course, you still need lead to come out of the gun, you still need to kill people. You can't back them over the head with a rifle, you need to have gunpowder, you need to have bullets. So we shipped 3 million pounds of lead. A third of the supply came from England. So England was very, very important in supplying the South with weapons and uniforms, food, many, many things to prosecute the war. Well, one other thing, Ms. Doody and you might mention this. I was at the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, a 3-day battle. You knew, you didn't tell me, these wonderful people. And I was there, and I even wrote my book called 3 Months of the Southern States. It's a marvelous book, good reading. I should have promoted it here, but it's worth buying, it's good to read. But one thing that really struck me, Mr. Doody, was that on the 3rd day, you essentially had a Napoleonic charge. It was asinine, it was terrible. They just marched across a Napoleonic charge in front of what? Rifled ordnance. It was what we call a turkey shoot. So, of course, one of the big things about being an officer in the Coldstream Guards is I'm going to go back and tell our army, don't do the same thing. Don't use Napoleonic tactics in front of rifled ordnance. Things are changing. Weapons are changing. We need to adapt our army. So it's a great opportunity to be here today and enjoy the battle. I'll pass you back to that wonderful Southern Belle, Miss Doody. Thank you, Miss Doody.
Thank you, Colonel Fremantle. He mentioned the rifled ordnance. Does anybody know what that is? Let me explain it to you. A lot of the weapons that began the war with were smooth-bore weapons. Let me tell you, what happens is the inside of the barrel is completely smooth. So as the projectile comes out of the barrel, it may rattle around a little bit, and it may go straight, and it may not. Later on in the war, then we had rifled ordnance, which means that there were grooves cut on the inside of the barrel, and it makes the projectile come out in a spinning motion. Gives you more accuracy and quite a bit more distance. So that was the difference in that. We talked about then the progression of the weapons. In the beginning, of course, it was the single-shot muskets, and later on, the Union guys even actually got repeating rifles, so that was a definite benefit for them during the war. We talked about some of the first. One of the first things is that the doctors were using quinine in order to treat typhoid fever. The terrible thing about this is although that we had advanced quite a bit with weaponry, we had to advance in medical. So 3 of every 5 soldiers actually died from disease as opposed to a wound of some sort from being shot. It was rampant. After the battle, our doctor in the field hospital right back here will be showing how he treated someone who actually has been shot. So you might want to visit him afterwards. So we're going to go ahead and I think get started. It looks like they're getting ready. They're pretty much ready. So I'm going to be up and down. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you. If I don't know the answer, I will find an answer for you. Again, my name is Mrs. Doody. I'm out here for you guys. If you have any questions, just stay off the road. I will be to you as soon as I can get there. Enjoy it. Thank you very much.